It's midnight Saturday night at midnight Eastern. We all know what time it is.
It's late at night, I'm sprawled in bed. Blank blue screen, dead air in my head. Click, click, nothing on. Just me and my phone glow yawning. Then the logo hits that wild ass grin. He slides through the static and the party walks in. Music madness, talking trash. I feel my boredom crash. Late night with Eddie Buffalo got me kicking off the covers like, oh, let's go. Sports jokes, dirty little truth attacks. He's my midnight craving, my late night snack. Yeah, I'd invite him in my bed, you should too. Turn it up if it's midnight, checking out that crew. Eddie Buffalo, Dr. Andy on the track. Perfect late night snack. Yeah. Late night snack.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. So, Andy, I got to ask you. It's on that song. It says you're a late night snack. Are you sweet, salty, savory? What are you? Spicy?
Unsatisfying.
Oh, you're not like a Snickers bar. Hey, you acting a little bit weird. Have some Dr. Andy. You'll feel much better. Oh, really? Because when we started the show, he's saying all these crazy things to me, something about Pac-Man, and that's all I'm going to say. Hey, welcome to Late Night with Eddie Buffalo and Dr. Andy. Donnie might be calling in. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath. But talk a little bit, Andy, about our wonderful sponsor. Our sponsor is pinsandaces.com, pinsandaces.com.
Make it for a reasonable software even I would wear as a non-golf.
And that discount is Andy's favorite number. How much percentage off did they get, Andy? 21%. Blackjack. Yeah. So check out our buddies at pinsandaces.com for all your golf needs and presents for other people. So that should be good. So how are you doing today, sir? And so we got to tell you. So this is going to be broadcast tonight. Do you know last week's show? I broadcast both of them on the same day. We had good numbers on both of them, so I'm not complaining. So we were talking, and we're not going to have a boxing show this week because Monday is going to be our 5,000th episode for EBI Media. And I don't even name for it. Should I do a song for that show too, Andy?
Name it Truth or Dare.
Oh, we're not. I thought we were doing more. Not Truth or Dare. What I'm trying to think. I can't remember. But anyways. Yes. And don't know who'll answer them. I'm waiting to hear Donnie's stories. He's like, I don't know which one to pick. So what did this guy get into? Yeah. We're going to go down memory lane too, talking about the different people that have been on the show that really stood out to us and did a good job for us. And some people that didn't, some people that came in and out of our lives, hits and misses, that's for sure. Talking about hits and misses, what's this show about, Andy?
Not the ones who talk tough, ones who are tough. We're going to have presidential.
And when he said about something, it's all right. Every time I'm like that, and when Andy comes up with something like this, I usually really enjoy the show. So look at the cool logo I made, Andy. I love how they put him in New York City, though. Did you notice that? Oh, look it on the sign. That's pretty freaking cool. I'll tell you, that Al Intelligence needs to get a raise. Al Intelligence is doing a very good job. Well, so that's me with the red hair. Is this you? Did you have dark hair? Or is that Donnie when he
We'll
hit?
make it Johnny.
Is that Donnie when he had hair? And you're the
That's-
buffalo? You're not the
I'm
buffalo.
the buffalo.
Ah, look at this President Street. I just noticed that too. So I'm gonna let Andy, since this was your idea, I'm gonna let you start the show off and let me hear what you got to say.
But just in terms of physical size and real experience fighting, because it's something that experience is a great teacher. Guys who really were in the ground level fight, not the guy who's sitting on the horse saying charge, the guy who was charged. And who had the reputation, who actually had the
Now, Andy, I know you did a bunch of research on this, but do you know who was considered the boxing president?
oh, Roosevelt was,
Yes.
and he also had a brother, Judah.
Yes, he was 26th president, the undisputed boxing president. His commitment to physical fitness was a cornerstone of his strenuous life philosophy. I've
And
never
he
heard that
had an
before.
Achilles heel.
Poor bastard.
He had.
Eh. They didn't have the meds that they have now, you
No,
know.
they did not.
So I'm gonna give you a couple little bits of wisdom and a little bit some kind of a tale of the tape of him. Practitioner. Roosevelt boxed regularly at Harvard, and he continued to practice throughout his life, including during his time as New York City Police Commissioner. I didn't know he was the New York City Police Commissioner.
Let me mention another
And while serving, oh, we're gonna stick on this guy for a little bit. Hold your horses there, pal. Okay, they had a ring in the White House. The White House ring, he frequently hosted sparring sessions in the White House, inviting professional boxers and military aides to spar with him several times a week. Ah,
He had a brown belt in judo also before the martial arts.
so I'll tell you, and it's funny because I still try to box 3 times a week. And when I was talking to a young lady that wanted to date me, when I told her that, she's like, and she's getting a little bit old for that. And so that was the end for her. She was done. She was knocked out. Now, injury, his passion for the sport ultimately cost him the sight in his left eye. I didn't know that. During a sparring session with military aid, he was struck hard in the eye, resulting in a detached retina that was kept secret for many years. He stopped boxing shortly after, noting that it seemed inappropriate for a president to be seen with a black eye or facial injuries. I think that makes him badass.
Different times, different modes and mores.
Keep on talking, Andy, and I'll take over again in a little bit.
Other presidents who were very noted for that. Of course, Abraham Lincoln was noted to be competitive wrestler.
Wrestlers.
He was also a very gentle man. He was a rule follower, and though he was a competitive wrestler and a tall man, I do not know how well he would do in a street fight. I doubt he had that little instinct. My choice would be more towards some of the older presidents who still were fighting in presidents who were still fighting on the front lines when they were having the various wars with the Mexicans, with the Native Americans, guys who really were mixing it up in the heat of battle.
So I feel like we're sparring back and forth. So you talked about Abraham Lincoln. Let's hear what they got to say about him. Perhaps the most famous wrestling president. Lincoln was a fierce competitor in the style of catch wrestling, popular on the frontier, standing at 6'4". He was a formidable opponent. He had only one recorded defeat in 12 years of wrestling. The one, the only Abraham Lincoln. He's enshrined in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Did you know that? Oh, you know everything. Stop it.
No, I don't.
Other notables were George Washington. He's a redhead. Of course, he was a fighter.
He worked more from the standpoint of leader than he was not on the.
Here's your one guy, Andrew Jackson, a tough brawler known for his intensity and
I endorsed him in one of the he fought, 100 people. He was called Old Hickory because he was a master with,
He hit you with a stick.
always carried a cane as well. Canes and cane fighting was very, very important during the 1700s, 1800s. Because it's what gentlemen did if they were assaulted in the street. And he was a master.
And so other notable wrestlers were Zachary Taylor, Ulysses S. Grant, and Ike. I like Ike. Dwight D. Eisenhower.
They may have made a little mistake. Hell was up 25-10, he's a boxing champion, and pretty tough person in the ring.
That L intelligence is lying.
It's not particularly big. He ran between 175 and 200 pounds. He fought on the front lines with a knife, with a club, with a sidearm in several wars. Commander as one of the front lines. He was
So I'm going to let you pick first, Andy. We're going to use L intelligence to match up presidential fighters and see what they have to say about it. What's your first bout that you would like to hear about? Wrestling or boxing? Easy. Was this the WWE? Jesus. All right, let's see. Weapons allowed. But no firearms. All right, let's see what Al Intelligence has to say about our first match. Andrew Jackson versus Abe Lincoln. God, he had to be so much taller than Andrew Jackson.
No, Jackson was 6 foot.
Oh, yeah. This is the tail of the
Jackson
tape.
was 6'1", I'm sorry.
This is the tail of the tape. Andrew Jackson, 6'1", wiry, gaunt, and intense. Combat style, aggressive, duelist, and brawler. Key asset, unmatched rage and endurance. He was angry? Jesus. And going back to what? Bill, what's your name? I don't know. The weapon skill, proficiency with blades and canes.
Those were the weapons du jour.
So his fighting name would have been Old Hickory, like they said. He was a man of intense volatility. He was a seasoned duelist with a long history of violence, having participated in dozens of duels in his life. Everything that Andy told us about. He was known for his sheer tenacity, as famously carried a bullet near his heart for decades and survived the multiple assassination attempts, probably by his family. In a fight.
He was so angry he went after himself.
In a fight, Jackson would not play by the rules. He was a dirty fighter who relied on speed, precision, and absolute willingness. Yeah, he's a dirty bastard. And then good old Honest Abe, the rail splitter. Before he was a statesman, Lincoln was a renowned wrestler in the frontier style of catch as catch can, standing at 6'4". So he was
Greco-Roman.
He was like 3 inches taller with exceptionally long arms, which is the reach is huge.
He had more pins.
He was known for his imposing strength and reach. He held a record of roughly 300 matches. Holy shit. Losing, I'm looking at Lincoln a different way now after doing this show. And used his weight and leverage to dominate opponents. While Jackson had the rage, Lincoln had the tactical discipline of a veteran grappler. Man, he was a badass, dude. Okay, the weapons factor, that's what Andy wanted. Your name's not Bill, it's Andy, just so you know. I just blessed you. Weapons. Jackson would likely favor a knife. His history as a soldier and duelist suggests he would be lethal in close quarters. However, he would have to close the difference against Lincoln's reach. Blunt, improvised weapons. So they pretty much grab him whatever they're around, huh? Lincoln would excel here. His work as a rail splitter built legendary core and back strength. That's amazing. A clubber's staff in the hands of a 6'4" man with an extensive reach advantage is difficult for a smaller, wire thin opponent to overcome. What do you think the verdict is? Who do you think won,
Sounds like
Andy?
they're stacking the table for Lincoln, to be honest, though. I think Jackson would win if Lincoln wasn't a killer.
Oh, hang on 1 second so we don't lose this.
I think Al
There you
may be stacking the deck for Lincoln. I don't think
Well,
they're doing it with rational
well,
approach.
they're going over both strategies. The verdict in this fight, if this fight were to take place, the outcome hinges on the first 10 seconds. Jackson's strategy. Jackson would likely charge immediately, attempting to end the fight with a surgical strike. Yeah, that makes sense. He was not a man of patience, kind of like Tyson, really. He would seek to incapacitate or kill instant. Wow, these guys were messing around. If Jackson succeeded in closing the distance and utilizing a blade before Lincoln could establish a defensive position, Jackson's ruthlessness would likely carry the
He
day.
has no Ruth. He has no Ruth. He said he was ruthless.
The Lincoln strategy. Boom, boom. The Lincoln strategy. Oh, wise guy, eh? Wise guy. Lincoln's best path to victory is to neutralize Jackson's weapon hand and utilize his grappling expertise. If Lincoln could endure the initial rush, his reach advantage could allow him to disarm Jackson or control the range. Once Lincoln gets his hands on an opponent, the fight typically ends via a slam or choke. He'd choke you to death. Given his wrestling pedigree and size advantage, Lincoln is the statistically more likely victor. Final conclusion. While Jackson possesses the killer instinct, Abraham Lincoln wins the majority of these encounters. His combination of superior reach, professional grade wrestling skill, and calm temperament allows him to absorb or avoid Jackson's initial assault, disarm him, and ultimately overpower him with his physical presence. Jackson was a tough survivor, but Lincoln was a dominant athlete. That is very interesting. I love how they said, from splitting logs, how much his core was. That was very interesting. I like that a lot. So, you're picking good ones, Andy. So let's hear your next fight.
We're gonna go boxing, and why don't we pick the two of renown? We'll go modern with your favorite, Teddy Roosevelt. And I'm going to go with Dwight D. Eisenhower. He was a pretty good.
Okay, so we'll see.
Tape real quick. Roosevelt was, I'm sorry, Ike was 5'10", 5'11", and TR, let's see, remember, TR was about 6'6". No, he was 5'10", so they're pretty evenly matched. TR was not. So both around 5'10", 5'11". TR's got judo, but it's a boxing match. So.
Well, let's see what Al Intelligence says this time, Andy. I'll just go over the tail of the tape real quick because Andy pretty much covered that. Okay, Teddy Roosevelt, like we said, the boxing president. The lifelong passion began boxing as a young man to improve his health and physical toughness. White House sparring, we already talked about the injury, about his eye. Okay, we're going to move on to Dwight Eisenhower. The West Point athlete. Eisenhower was a talented athlete in his youth, and boxing was among the sports he pursued. West Point, while at the U.S. Military Academy, Eisenhower participated in football, baseball, and boxing. Athletic ability, he was considered an excellent boxer during his cadet years through a knee injury, which also affected his football career, eventually curtailed his ability to compete in high-impact sports. Fact versus fiction. There are various legends regarding Eisenhower's boxing life, including a persistent but debunked rumor that he once fought the legendary football coach Knute Rockne. Eisenhower explicitly denied the story. If he's denying it, he did it. In correspondence, noting that it was a myth created by combining unrelated incident. It's not telling us who would win. Who
I would
win?
Let's put it on the spot.
I'm so excited to hear this. Here we go. And I like this, the tail of the tape. I'm just gonna go other styles because we everything else. Teddy Roosevelt, aggressive, unrefined brawler, you know, calling him the bull moose. And they said Dwight Eisenhower, disciplined athlete. The verdict: if this was a technical sanctioned boxing match, Eisenhower likely holds the advantage. He would be younger, faster, and more technically sound. He would likely maintain distance, use his reach, and score points while avoiding the chaotic, messy brawl that Roosevelt would try to initiate. He was badass.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh shit! They're talking about rough and tumble. Do you know that term?
Yeah, rough and tumble would be probably Roosevelt because he had the judo belt.
Why do they call it rough and tumble? That's what I was asking you, Andy. Do you know the difference? So basically, in bare knuckle boxing, if it's a fair fight, we both agree not to do anything dirty. Rough and tumble.
Takedowns
And if you want to Google Bobby Gunn and hear some of his stories, how he ripped somebody's testicles off, ripped ears off, bit noses off, it's terrifying. So let's go back to the rough and tumble fight with no rules. The edge shifts significantly to Teddy Roosevelt. His psychological edge, the bullheaded refusal to quit. This guy sounds like me. In a scenario where tactical boxing goes out the window and it becomes a test of who can absorb more punishment and inflict more damage through sheer will, Roosevelt's intensity is arguably unmatched in American history. Ultimately, Eisenhower wins on points in a discipline match, but Roosevelt wins a street fight, which that's what this show is all about today, by refusing to stop until he prevails. It sounds like you had to shoot him to stop this guy. So, very interesting. You know, let me see how we're doing on time. Oh.
Let me just put down the president's. We'll start current, and we'll have our last. Trump. No. He didn't even play on the free.
He'd get a bunch of guys to beat you up.
Biden. Heavens no.
Would he even know he was in a boxing match?
No.
Probably think it's his wife hitting him. He's a wuss.
G.W. Bush, little rich boy. Clinton, hot.
Once again, all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Dr. Andy are purely for entertainment purposes.
Senior President Bush was the CIA person for quite a while and was trained. He was trained. Tempo was what they.
God only knows what that guy would do to you.
And he also was about 6'2", but again.
I didn't realize he was that big.
Reagan was pretty 6'1". He looked like a statue, they said, but he also had the.
Oh, he's a big dude.
He was a big fellow. He was a bodybuilder, but he's old. He's a Hollywood actor. Carter.
He's down south, though. He might be dirty.
No, he was super principled. He would have gotten his mother to break the fight. Ford was a football player. Ford was a starting offensive lineman at a time when offensive linemen were only around 6 foot tall, but Ford had no aggressive tendencies except for finding the floor and hitting golf balls off heads. President Nixon, no,
I am not a boxer. I am not a boxer. I am not a boxer.
Johnson was a big man, intimidated by his height, but he hired another little who did not do his.
I call shit on your next one, by the way.
Kennedy had a bad back. He had really bad endocrine disease, and he was on for his back.
He was an Irish Catholic. So you know what? Put all them drugs in him. I'm sure he was good to go, Andy. I bet she got out of the chair quick when he saw Marilyn sitting there.
That's a difference.
I won't interrupt you too much more.
Now he's an excellent boxer, spin guy, very good tactician. Truman, no, he owned a men's. FDR, Hoover, Coolidge, Harding, and Wilson were all skinny little
Wusses.
Taft was about 350.
He was a huge dude. I remember reading stories about him. You think Taft ate Taffy?
I think Taft ate everything in front of him.
What's her name?
I think Taft probably would have been deadly if it was a buffet. He wins the fight against the buffet.
Jimmy Buffet? Cheeseburger in paradise? Is that where we're going with this?
Now, before that, we had Roosevelt. Now, McKinley and Cleveland and Arthur and Garfield, they were all pretty much politicians. Hayes, same thing. Grant was a pretty tough guy. He was a West Point guy, but Grant didn't
Knew how to
have
fight.
any size. Grant was about 5'8", dripping wet, and he didn't have a cute fighting experience. He was always a commander. Who else do we have in there? Andrew Johnson, pretty tough, nasty man. Andrew Jackson, we talked about it. I still would pick him. If it was a street fight, I'd pick him over anybody. Lincoln, we discussed. And a couple of those guys, not much to speak of. Now, let's get to the real killer. Zach Taylor. He fought front lines for 4 campaigns. I was 8'9", 200 pounds. He was a man. He would give Andrew Jackson a run for his in terms of toughness and determination and experience. Moving back to some of the other guys, people who stood out. Washington was a big man. He's known to be a good wrestler, but Washington was not. Coming back to it, I had to pick the guy like that. Central Street fight. I'm going to pick.
All right, this is going to be our last one that we do today, Andy. I had to do it. I know this guy isn't a president, but hearing what a badass that Andrew Jackson was, Andrew Jackson versus Iron Mike Tyson. No weapons, just boxing. If we entertain a fight between the 7th U.S. president and the former heavyweight champion, the results are clear. The winner would be Mike Tyson. The reasoning, while Andrew Jackson was known for his ferocity, dueling experience, and rough and tumble background, he was not a trained athlete in the modern sense. Mike Tyson is an elite professional. Listen, I'm going to disagree now as he's older. And an elite professional combat athlete. In a physical contest, Tyson's speed, explosive power, and mastery of defensive and offensive boxing technique would overwhelm a non-athlete in seconds. That's very interesting.
We've seen it happen in a couple of airports and airplanes when people did dumb things to
Why would you poke that bear?
I was going to say, I would not hit that beehive to see if there are any bees or anything.
And you got to think, I mean, my hands do not look like I sit at a desk all day. I mean, I've had these since I was a kid, the calluses. And your hands get pretty rough from fighting, especially. So I got to ask you something, Andy, since you're not. And this is like a little tip for everybody. You're done boxing, and you don't want to buy a pair of boxing gloves all the time because they're freaking expensive. What do you do to prevent them from getting yucky? No, I'm talking, it's all full of sweat and everything. What do you do to these gloves so that you can continue to get a longer life out of them? Well, 2 things. Okay. I'm not a drinker anymore, but you put in get a spray bottle with the cheapest vodka you can find, half in water, and that takes care of it. But I don't like that smell. And another good thing to use is baking soda. Oh, 100%. You know, just it's messy because I mean, no matter how much you knock that stuff out, your hands are once you have your wraps on and your hands are in the glove, they just come out like white. Kind of similar like Mike Tyson when he was doing all the cocaine.
I don't think about
Well,
the
well,
infuriated Mike
well,
Tyson.
Well, Andy, what we got to do is I got some white powder on my gloves. It's a bad Mike Tyson. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to do it.
I don't imitate men who can make me.
So, we're at the end of another interesting show. Andy, did you like it? I'm disappointed because it's kind of like it's easier when we're using L intelligence to set, fighters against fighters, but taking presidents, against fighters, I was a little bit disappointed in that whole Mike Tyson thing, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, it was. But I hope everybody enjoyed. Go to bed now. Maybe you had a midnight snack because there's your late night snack right there, Dr. Andy. So we're gonna end the show like we end every show. Life is definitely worth living. Be around people that are happy, people that make you laugh, people that you have fun with. This life's too short not to enjoy this ride because Andy, guess what? None of us make it out alive.
And so far, I'll have to.
So enjoy tomorrow. We don't have any show on Sunday, but no, not in this show. Just keep on laughing, Andy. So we're gonna play off this show by listening to the rest of that song. So make sure you tune in Monday at 9 o'clock Central. Tomorrow we're gonna be taping our 5,000th episode for YouTube, and then I'm gonna be here. Dr. Andy's gonna be here, and the one, the only Donnie Lowe. So have a good night, guys. Love you. Bye.
He's breaking down the game, she's spilling wild facts. They're dancing on the edge of every headline. Crack, pop, life, poop culture, all that spin. Make me laugh till I'm caving in. Clock says 12, but I don't care. I'm tangled in the sheets with that wild on air. Every punchline, every hot take, got my body wide awake. Late night with Eddie Buffalo, got me kicking off the covers like, oh, let's go. Sports jokes, dirty little truth attacks. He's my midnight craving, my late night snack. Yeah, I'd invite him in my bed, you should too. Turn it up if it's midnight, checking out that crew. Eddie Buffalo, Dr. Andy on the track. Perfect late night snack. Late night snack. Nobody else gets me like that. Laughing so hard, I forget to chat. Just me and the glow and the wild on screen. Living out loud in my TV dream. Oh yeah. Late night with Eddie Buffalo, got me kicking off the covers like, oh, let's go. Sports jokes, dirty little truth attacks. He's my midnight craving, my late night snack. Yeah, I'd invite him in my bed, you should too. Turn it up if it's midnight, checking out that crew. Eddie Buffalo, Dr. Andy on the track. Perfect late night snack. Late night snack.
Oh,
Mm.